सालों से इंडिया अनहड़ में मैं जो सामाजिक मुद्दों पे काम कर रही थी, उसका मूल्य मुझे तब अनुभव हुआ जब मैं अपनी समुदाय में एक बड़ा बदलाव लाई। इस फिल्म के कारण मेरे गांव वाले एकजुट होकर माफिया।
We've come here to show videos made by marginalized communities in India. We believe that the kinds of videos that our community correspondents are making in India are actually relevant even in a European context, that they show aspects of innovation in addressing social exclusion through the use of media and by empowering people with a voice.
It's about monitoring. Our work is basically about monitoring how government's programs and schemes work or do not work. Very often the fact that there is nobody watching out, there is nobody looking out or monitoring the functioning of a government makes a good situation, a good context for the governments to engage in non-transparent work or corrupt practices. So the mere presence of a camera, the mere presence of a recording device is enough sometimes to bring about change.
Fundación Paraguaya is a 30-year-old social mission organization with the objective to develop new strategies to eliminate poverty and share them as an open source technology with the rest of the world. We allow each family to visualize where they're doing well, where they're not doing well, and how to come up with a personalized strategy to overcome and eliminate the different poverties that affect them. Yeah. The life does not belong to the government. My situation is not a responsibility of the state alone. I also have responsibilities, and I demand to be able to be the architect of my own destiny. That is the essence of people overcoming poverty. We have two innovations. Not only are we working with poor families, we are also working with factories to eliminate the poverty of other workers, the multidimensional poverty of the workers. And finally, we are now working with schools to have students study what multidimensional poverty is, and they analyze the poverty of their families, and they help their parents overcome poverty.
What my project does is that it works with poor people and marginalized people to make sure that they are not discriminated in access to healthcare services, but it also works with poor communities in trying to make sure that schools are of good quality for poor children and that there is equal opportunity in South Africa. My organization can serve as an example because what it has shown is that through community education and through community, what we call treatment literacy or health literacy or knowledge about the law, poor people are able to stand up for their own rights. And when poor people start to stand up for their own rights, it's possible to create much greater accountability in government in relation to government services. It's really not about the power of the organization, it's about the power of the organization to transfer power to people who are poor and unequal. I work in some of the poorest parts of South Africa, but we have been able to organize those communities so that this power spreads upwards and eventually is something that is felt at the level of parliament, it is felt at the level of changes in policy so that policy becomes more inclusive, that policy does more to transfer wealth, to transfer power to people. So, you know, the key thing is to start at the local level rather than starting at the national level, and that is our approach.